Today in this video, we're going to do an Ask the Underwriter. This is the top 4 reasons why a USDA loan may not be the best loan for you. Check it out. Hi, I'm Rhonda Burgess. I'm a real estate broker and mortgage underwriter here in the Nashville, Tennessee area, and my firm is Southern Living Realty Partners. This is 4 reasons why USDA may not be the right loan for you, because I get so many calls from folks who have no idea what the USDA rural housing loan is about. Okay, the first reason why it may not be the loan for you, the mortgage for you, is because USDA has income limits, household income limits. That means your household cannot make over a certain amount depending on how many people you have in your home. I will include a link to the USDA site where you can look up the income limits for the state and county where you may be looking at purchasing. When we say household income, that's exactly what we mean. Everybody in that house, not just the people who are going to be on the loan. This is a common misconception. It's the household, okay? So if it's 2 adult people, husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, 2 sisters, 2 whatever. If it's 2 adults, then you look at who all that, and they're the people who are going to be on the loan. Then we got to look at everybody else who's in that household. So do you have teenage children who are working? Somebody working at Panera Bread part-time, somebody, working, whatever job. If they're working part-time, they're seasonal. Maybe your cousin live with y'all. He cut grass, or he does landscaping and it's getting ready to be his slow season or whatever. All income has to be included. If your mother, your grandmother, your auntie and them, somebody live with you in your house and they get a check from SSI, or they get, a retirement, they get pension, they get Social Security, they get something, it's got to be included. If you all are getting food stamps, if you're getting SNAP benefits, stuff like that, it has to be, especially if you're getting the cash from SNAP, it has to be included. Everything. We have to count everything. Okay? So your household may be over the limit. And if it is, that's fine. But you cannot do a USDA loan because your household exceeds the limit, for the income. Don't try to commit loan fraud, people. We check this. Can I say it again? You're going to be asked. There's several places where you're asked questions. And then there's a disclosure that tells you do not commit loan fraud. Loan fraud is punishable. Don't commit loan fraud. Look, if you make too much money for USDA, then you need to be doing an FHA loan, or you need to be doing conventional or something. But we do check. Just like you get a W-2, and this is, you're getting a government loan. So you don't think the USDA can talk to the IRS? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't think that there are ways to verify your income before you get too deep in this? Don't commit loan fraud, people. I can't tell you how many I've kicked out where I'd be like, you over the income limit. And ain't nobody doing that new math. We doing old school math, okay? So that's the first one. You may be your household may be over the income limit. Number 2, USDA, the rural housing program is meant for modest homes for homeowners. I'm going to say that one more again. Modest homes for homeowners. We don't do freaky weird stuff. USDA does not do mortgages on freaky weird properties. Barn dominiums. I ain't never seen one closed. That's just me. I'm not saying that they haven't, but I'm just telling you, I've never seen one closed. A berm house built into the side of a mountain. A yurt. One of them round funny houses. It's just a complete circle. You wouldn't, if you are in a coastal area and the house you're looking at purchasing is built up on stilts, They're built on those piers so that you're above the, so that hopefully you don't get flooded out. That's a no-go. We won't do, USDA just won't do that type of loan. USDA will not do any unique properties like that. And you got to be careful with your acreage. I've had several people calling me wanting to buy 20 and 30 acres. You need to holler at Farm Credit Services, because it's not going to be done under USDA. We don't do that. We don't do that. In fact, the largest acreage I've ever seen that I've personally underwritten, it was less than 5 acres. I know this. It's not, listen, this is supposed to be about the house that you're buying, not land. So if you want to buy land, like I've told y'all before, you can't buy raw land using a USDA loan. If you want to buy land, and in my opinion, if you want to buy more than 2, if the property comes with more than 2 acres, you may want to look at Farm Credit Service, because what's going to happen is we have to take just the house and the immediate surrounding land and give that a value. So like, I had this discussion with someone this week. If the property you're looking at is a house and 20 acres, okay, that's more like a farm. You need to be in Farm Credit Services. But I'm going to tell you the reason why we would kill that, and USDA would not underwrite it, is because how much is the house and the immediate land surrounding it worth compared to all those acres? Because if the property you're looking to buy, let's say is $300,000, right? But the house and the immediate land surrounding it is only worth $100,000, and the other $200,000 out of that $300,000 is based in that land, it won't fly. It won't fly. This is not for you. Rural housing loans are to encourage people to move into rural areas that are designated by Congress as a rural area. Some of those areas are darn near city now, the way people have expanded and moved out and everything. But if it falls in that map area, it's still got to be a modest home. It's not, they're not financing no acres. You're not going to clear timber with a USDA loan. You're not going to do all that. Nope, it's not going to happen. So just know, the USDA does not do on the rural housing. We do not do unique properties. We don't do stuff with a whole bunch of acres. So if that's what you're looking at doing, you either need to go conventional or you need to holler at Farm Credit Services, because USDA does not do that. Okay. So number 3, I've never underwritten a multifamily property. I've never underwritten a multifamily property under rural housing. I'm not saying that they don't exist. Multifamily normally falls under business under USDA. So you would need to talk to a business rep, because let's say you want to build, or you may have a apartment complex in a rural area and you want to get that under rural housing, and everything. You're going to need to talk to somebody else. Multifamily, no, it's different. We do multifamily, but not on the single family program, if that makes sense. Okay. So if you are an investor and you have you have an apartment complex or whatever in the rural area, you need to, there's ways we can work that out, but you're not going to come through single family. It's not going to happen. We don't do those things. Those two don't even compute. Number 4, and the final point I need for y'all to understand. You cannot own any other property if you're trying to get a USDA loan. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. You cannot own any other property if you're trying to get a USDA loan. Remember what I just said. We're talking about owner occupants. So if you own other property, then you are considered an investor. You cannot do 100% USDA loan if you own other property. And I mean just that. Now, if you're going to be moving to the area and you've got let's say you're going to be moving to Georgia and you got property in Arizona And so you're going to do a simultaneous closing. You're going to sell that house in Arizona because you're buying the one in Georgia. Wonderful. That can work. But I'm going to tell you, we got to see that settlement statement and see evidence that that property in Arizona closed, because you cannot own two properties. You cannot own more than one property. The USDA loan property has to be your primary residence, and that's it. You can't own anything else. People oftentimes will hit me up talking about, well, we still got our house over here and we got this property over here. And when I say property, I mean property, not just necessarily a house. You own a commercial building, it's not going to work. You cannot own that property, because what y'all have to remember is the premise of the USDA. We do a test to see if you qualify for USDA. Again, this is for a modest home in a rural area for owner occupant. So therefore, if you own other property, then 9 times out of 10, you have some equity in that other property or properties. So therefore, if you have a certain amount of assets, like you got money, if you got enough money to put 20% down to do a conventional loan, you cannot get a USDA loan. There's a test that we do, just like the income test, the household income. We do a test to see, can this person qualify for conventional financing? If so, you're not getting a loan from USDA. I'm just telling y'all the rules. I don't make the rules. That's just what it is. So, and that goes for, listen, if it's a husband and a wife and you're going to apply for a loan, but let's say one of his parents passed or something and left him a house. Can't do it because he owns other property. It doesn't matter how you acquired it. I get this, but I didn't buy that house, or I got the house in a divorce from the previous spouse or whatever. It doesn't matter. You can't own other property. That's just USDA rules. Because I believe, and it's been like this for years. It's for years. But I believe that they probably had a whole lot of wannabe investors or people who were not truthful, who were just trying to run game on USDA. And they were like, no more. If you own other property and you're looking in the rural area, you might as well go on and look at conventional, because you're an investor. You're not a first time buyer. So even on the conventional and the FHA side, they're going to be looking for you to bring 20% to put down. There are several underwriters who look at you when you're applying for a loan. So there's a title underwriter. We pull a title report on you. Okay. And a title report will show if you are noted as the owner of some other property all over in another state, maybe in another city, in another county, whatever. There's ways that we check. Don't commit loan fraud, y'all. Do not do loan fraud. It's not worth it. There are other programs that you can use. There are other ways that you can get financing for the property that you want to buy. And you don't have to tell no lies. And all of this, you know what I'm saying? So again, income limits, if you're over the income limit, it's not going to work. Unique, crazy properties, not going to work. Acreage, 9 times out of 10, will not work. And special properties, again, even if you own stilts in the coastal area, not going to work. If you own them piers. Multifamily, not going to work. Investors, not going to work. You cannot own any other type of property. So there it is. Those are the 4 reasons why a USDA loan may not work for you.